Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's gotten more attention than a rogue peacock at a garden party, the corporate world's changing relationship with remote work. It's a real head-scratcher, isn't it? For a while there, working from home seemed like the dream. Slippers, spreadsheets, maybe a midday interpretive dance if the mood struck you. But now, well, some bosses are acting like they found a spider in their sourdough starter, a little bit freaked out and ready to burn the whole thing down. So what's the deal? Why are some bosses pulling a U-turn faster than a politician on a campaign promise? Why are they suddenly so eager to get everyone back in those ergonomically questionable office chairs? Let's find out, shall we? Now, I'm not saying that people in offices are paragons of communication. Let's be honest, we've all sat through meetings that could have been an email, or worse, an interpretive dance. But there's a certain, shall we say, about remote work that seems to amplify the potential for communication breakdowns. It's like someone swapped the office water cooler for a mime convention. Lots of frantic gesturing, but very little actual understanding. One of the biggest culprits, the dreaded lack of context. See, in an office you can usually tell if someone's slammed just by looking at them, you know, the 1,000-yard stare, the pile of empty coffee mugs, the faint scent of desperation. It's a whole vibe. But remotely, you're flying blind, my friend. You send an email, a chat, a carrier pigeon. Who knows if it'll reach them amidst the symphony of notifications and the siren song of the open refrigerator. And then, of course, there's the ever-present technological barrier. We've all been there at the frozen Zoom calls, the garbled audio, the accidental reply, all that sends chills down your spine. It's enough to make you want to throw your laptop out the window and communicate via smoke signals. But wait, there's more. Because even when the technology cooperates, there's the minefield of tone to navigate. Sarcasm, my friends, does not travel well through fiber optic cables. Neither does subtle humor, gentle ribbing, or really any form of communication that requires more than a basic understanding of emojis. And let's not forget the simple fact that some things are just better said face to face. You know, those difficult conversations, the brainstorming sessions where ideas bounce around like a squirrel on espresso, the moments of spontaneous collaboration that make work, dare I say it, enjoyable. These are the things that remote work can sometimes struggle to replicate, and it's no wonder bosses are starting to feel the strain. It's like trying to conduct an orchestra through a series of poorly translated text messages. The potential for disaster is high, and the end result is likely to be more cacophony than symphony. So, what's the solution? Well, it's not as simple as just demanding everyone return to the office. That's about as effective as trying to herd cats with a laser pointer. Chaotic, frustrating, and likely to end with you questioning your life choices. Instead, it's about finding ways to bridge the communication gap, to create a remote work environment where clarity reigns supreme and misunderstandings are about as common as a unicorn wearing a business suit. It's about embracing technology, yes, but also recognizing its limitations and supplementing it with good old-fashioned human interaction. It's about creating a culture of open communication where people feel comfortable speaking up, sharing their thoughts and ideas, and asking for clarification when needed. It's about fostering a sense of trust and camaraderie, even when separated by miles of physical distance. Productivity, the holy grail of the corporate world, the metric by which all employees are judged, the reason your boss keeps a framed picture of a spreadsheet on their desk. And let's be honest, the shift to remote work has thrown a bit of a wrench into the whole productivity equation, hasn't it? It's enough to make even the most trusting manager feel a twinge of doubt. Because let's face it, the temptation to blur the lines between work and life is strong when your home office is also your living room, your gym, and occasionally your impromptu karaoke bar. And it's not just the fear of employees slacking off. There's also the very real concern that remote work can actually hinder productivity. Think about it. The distractions are endless. The laundry that beckons, the dog that demands belly rubs, the siren song of the refrigerator. It's enough to derail even the most focused individual. And then there's the isolation factor. Some people thrive in a solitary work environment, but others wither like a houseplant deprived of sunlight. They miss the camaraderie of the office, the buzz of activity, the chance encounters that can spark creativity and innovation. But here's the thing. Productivity isn't about where you work. It's about how you work, and just like you wouldn't judge a book by its cover, you can't judge an employee's productivity solely on their physical location. So, how do you quell the productivity paranoia? Well, it starts with trust. Trust that your employees are capable of managing their time and workload effectively, even when they're not under your watchful eye. And it means focusing on outcomes, not hours logged. Judge employees on the quality of their work, not on how many hours they spend tethered to their laptops. Encourage employees to create dedicated workspaces, set boundaries between work and personal time, and take regular breaks to avoid burnout. And most importantly, communicate openly and honestly about any concerns you may have. Chapter 3, Teamwork makes the dream work, but remote work makes it complicated. Remember team building exercises, trust falls, awkward icebreakers that one time Brenda from accounting accidentally stapled her own hand to the mission statement poster? Good times, but in the era of remote work, team building has taken on a whole new level of complexity. See, spontaneous collaboration is about as rare as a sober conversation at a WeWork happy hour. You can't just swing by someone's desk to bounce ideas around or grab a quick coffee to hash out a problem. Instead, you're stuck scheduling Zoom calls, navigating time zones, and trying to build rapport through a screen. And let's be honest, those virtual happy hours and team-building activities, they can feel about as natural as a penguin in a tuxedo. Sure, we all appreciate the effort, but there's a certain something missing, that intangible sense of connection, that shared experience that comes from, actually being in the same room as your colleagues. But fear not, my friends, because all hope is not lost. Building a strong team culture in a remote environment is entirely possible. It just requires a bit more creativity and intentionality. Start by fostering a sense of community. Create virtual spaces where employees can connect and socialize outside of work-related tasks. Think virtual book clubs, online gaming tournaments, or even just a dedicated Slack channel for sharing pet photos and bad jokes. Encourage regular team check-ins, both formal and informal. Use these opportunities to celebrate successes, provide support, and just generally stay connected as a team. And when it comes to collaboration, don't be afraid to think outside the Zoom box. Utilize project management tools, shared documents, and other collaborative software to keep everyone on the same page. Chapter 4, Cybersecurity Nightmares, Working from Home in Your Pajamas Exposed to Hackers. Let's talk about cybersecurity, shall we? Because while working from home in your pajamas might sound like the dream, it also presents a tempting target for the darker side of the internet. Think of it like this. Every employee's home office is like a tiny, poorly defended castle in the vast digital landscape, just ripe for the picking by cyber attackers who are about as subtle as a rampaging rhinoceros in a china shop. And let's be honest, not everyone has the cybersecurity awareness of, say, a squirrel trying to crack into the CIA mainframe. They're clicking on phishing links, using weak passwords, and generally leaving the digital drawbridge down for any cyber criminal who happens to wander by. And then there's the issue of unsecured networks. Because who needs a secure VPN when you can just piggyback on your neighbor's Wi-Fi, right? Never mind the fact that their network security might be about as robust as a wet paper bag. It's a recipe for disaster, and it's enough to give any IT professional heart palpitations. But fear not, my friends, because there are ways to mitigate these risks. It starts with education. Train your employees on basic cybersecurity best practices, like creating strong passwords, recognizing phishing scams, and using secure networks. And don't just make it a one-time thing. Reinforce these messages regularly, because even the most tech-savvy individual can fall victim to a well-crafted cyber attack. Implement strong security protocols like multi-factor authentication and data encryption. And make sure your employees have access to the tools and resources they need to work securely, like VPNs and secure messaging apps. Those are the 4 horsemen of the remote work apocalypse. The reasons why some bosses are eyeing that return to office button with the intensity of a hawk eyeing a field mouse. Communication breakdowns, productivity paranoia, team cohesion conundrums, and cybersecurity chills. It's enough to make anyone yearn for the days of water cooler gossip and communal microwaves. But here's the thing. These challenges aren't insurmountable. They're simply growing pains, the inevitable hiccups that come with any major shift in how we work. And with a little bit of effort, a dash of creativity, and a whole lot of communication, we can create a future of work that's flexible, productive, and secure. So what do you think? Are these concerns overblown, or are we teetering on the brink of a remote work rebellion? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more workplace wisdom.